and now do the next part of this benchmark show test by launching the bunch of apps that you can see across the top of the screen here. So that's Temple Run, Temple Run 2, Piano Tiles, Camera, VidTrim, YouTube, GPS Status, BBC News, Chrome. Now this isn't meant to be some sort of amazing test, but I am going to time it. So what we're going to do is go into the clock app here, go to the start. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to open Temple Run, tap as quickly as I can, get into the game properly, exit, go Temple Run 2, exit, Piano Tiles, just launch it to the loading screen, Camera, Capture, VidTrim, Transcoder Video, YouTube, launch a video, GPS Status, which I'm going to just have to quickly reset, which we'll do now. So I think we do that, we go Settings, I gotta remember how to use that quickly. I think it's that. There we go. What we do, we reset, we go out. So now what will happen when I launch each app is it should hopefully take me to a part where I can just click it, go as quickly as I can, and this will be comparable for other phones that you'll be able to see on the channel. So let's go ahead and get this up, and I'll try to do it as quickly as I can. This isn't going to be exact. This will give you a sort of understanding of how fast each device is, roughly. It looks like this is searching for focus all the time. So anyways, let's get this going. And let's just see how well the Nexus 5 does. Come on. So this isn't meant to be any sort of amazing scientific, exact benchmark. Come on. But it gives you an indication of how fast the phone opens each app and does things. There's a HDR shot if you didn't see there. And I'll try to do it as fast as I can each time, and we'll just see. So this is going to take a little bit of the transcoding section here, but this is the ideal test. Would be in a sort of everyday situation where you're opening apps, leaving them open in the background, maybe doing a bit of transcoding if you're that sort of person, that sort of thing. I just noticed my camera is crooked, but that's not an issue. Obviously all the benchmarks before this video will just give you a sort of, an understanding in comparison to other phones have benchmarks, but that's not really an indication of how well this thing performs. Yes, it can show you good things, but the Nexus 5 is one of those devices that tends to, I'll do that again, another one. I'm going to wait till it loads, go GPS. So this is basically going to give you an understanding how well these things will lock the GPS. Now this will be done under the exact same location, so where I have this shitty review table, I'm going to call it, is directly under a window, which means whenever I do a GPS test it will be done in the exact same conditions. But it depends, it will be different for each device, and it will be interesting to see how this goes. And as we are seeing, the Nexus 5 seems to have a thing where it takes it forever to lock on to GPSs. Or GPSs in the satellite, I should say. So, okay, nobody cares. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit. I know this phone, for some reason my N5, and I think a lot of other people had this issue, is that it takes so bloody long to lock. The only thing was that when I did this earlier, it locked straight away. But then again, I don't know why that was. It just seemed to lock straight away unless I've had this app on the phone before. I think we're going to have to exit out if it doesn't find it as soon. Actually, no, we'll go as soon as it finds the lock. That's where we'll call it. But it doesn't seem to be finding a lock very fast, does it? But yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because this will be the exact same test I'll do across a multitude of devices. It will give you a general idea of how well the phone works and how well the phone sort of locks on the GPS, how fast it opens apps and all that sorts of things. Now, this GPS test won't be as accurate as you probably would outside. If you're outside, you'll probably have a much better signal than what you would in, say, my room, basically. And I'm doing this in. So, I don't know what is going on here. It's stuck at one satellite. You know what? Bug off. BBC News app now. So yeah, go Chrome, and we're going to load the BBC News homepage, and there we go. Let's quickly, go back. So it took 3 minutes 31 seconds. Now that's obviously mostly going to be down to that GPS status, which is annoying. I don't understand why this device just doesn't lock. It really does take a while. Now it could be better if it had a mobile SIM in it, which it does not, so maybe that's the reason why it's taken a while. But some other time, maybe actually I'll do it now, is I'll pop it out the window and see how fast we get a lock. But as of right now, the GPS on this thing sucks, and that's what let this whole sort of benchmark down. But this you can then compare to whenever I do it with other phones, and then you can see sort of an indication of how slow, how fast they are. Now obviously I'm probably going to have to redo this, and I might leave the GPS test out because the GPS test might bring other phones to its knees. So yeah, but we'll see. I've reset the GPS status of this N5, and we're going to do it again, holding it out the window and see how well it does. Obviously it's going to be a bit harder for the phone to focus because it's completely dark outside, as you can see. But this, I don't know what's going on. It's really struggling actually. Oh no, there it goes. It's seeing more, but it's struggling to see them, which is the problem. I'm trying not to drop my phone out the window because it's actually, I'm holding this out the window in the loft, so yes. As you can see, it's seen to, and it's locked those two, which are up there in the sky somewhere. But for some reason, it's not locking anything else. So I'm just going to see how long this takes. I'm going to hold out the window a bit more. See, now it's starting to see a few more. It's still struggling. Four. 5. Sorry about that. You've got a fucking hammer in a minute. Ugh. You can see from the previous clip, I held this thing out the window for about nearly 2 minutes. It managed to lock 5. It still didn't get the lock properly. It's still searching for the GPS location, as you can see. So that just shows you that if the device can't lock a GPS, how much useful is it for Google Maps? It can still be useful, obviously, due to the fact that you can use mobile data and stuff like that, but the GPS should work. And for a phone, maybe mine's broken, but it should be working still. It can lock 5 and it can see 5 of those satellites, but it ain't locking them for some reason. So that's this benchmark video done. I have to time sort of how long I gave this phone the GPS status when I'm editing this, so that when I do this with another device, I give it the same period of time to lock that GPS, and if it doesn't do it in that time, we carry on with the benchmark. Otherwise it's unfair on other phones. Obviously if it does it before that, we then go ahead and just move on anyways. So there you go, there's just the benchmarks of the Nexus 5 for you guys to see, so you can see the theoretical benchmarks that it can get during, you know, using benchmark applications, which I will obviously post. I have like the whole section of this video before, will obviously is the just looking at screen caps of the what they benchmarked. And yeah, that's all for now. So the next thing for this will be a speaker test, and then it'll probably be the review of this device. Yes, it's an old device still now, but it's still a good device, and it deserves a review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and this benchmark here, the GPS one, not great.